Hi, I'm Mary Ellen Saganovich, and this is Miracles with Mary Ellen. Today on Miracles, I'm going to be discussing the miracle of depression. Oh my gosh, Mary Ellen, you have totally lost it. How in the world can depression be a miracle? Well, you know, anything in your life has the power to be turned into a miracle when you become aware of it, when you take responsibility for it, and you make a conscious choice to choose differently. So let's look at depression. Depression is the emotion of anger turned inwards on yourself. It is especially anger that you don't think you should be feeling, and you don't feel safe saying it to anyone else. You may feel anger towards a parent, spouse, or a friend, or anything like that. And what has society always taught you? Society has said, no, you should honor your parents, you should be kind to your friends, and of course you should. But these people are in your lives because they're going to teach you the lessons that you need to learn. So you take this repressed anger, and instead of voicing it, or instead of saying what you need to say for yourself, you sweep it under the carpet, pretending it doesn't exist. You now feel stuck. You know, depression is something that you don't realize until it builds up into something called chronic depression. This happens after years and years and years of stuffing this anger, sweeping it under the carpet, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you crash. It's hard to do anything. You feel hopeless and helpless all at once. So now that you know that you're depressed, you start searching the internet for that right doctor to give you that magic pill, that prescription that'll bring you out of this depression. Well, you know, many times a depressed state will be a symptom of an underlying diagnosis. That's true. Yet what you fail to understand is that your pent-up anger and your stubbornness triggered the diagnosis in the first place. A prescription may help, but it's like yesterday I cut my finger and I put this Band-Aid on it. If I hadn't cleaned out the cut first and I hadn't properly taken care of it, I could take the Band-Aid off and that infection might go somewhere else in my body, or it might be reinfected. So that's the same way as just taking a pill for depression. You have to look at the underlying effect. What is it in you? Why are you stuffing that anger and not getting it out? You know, far too many people in our society suffer from chronic depression. They have become so depressed, it's hard to even get out in the morning or do anything. And, you know, especially during this pandemic, since you are regulated as to where you can go, where you should go, how many people can go with you, you gotta wear a mask all the time, you know, it's hard to stay upbeat. So this in turn breeds more angry feelings into that fire of depression that you've been stuffing inside of you for so many years. So you get more depressed and more depressed and more depressed, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? So, you know, it does not matter how spiritual you are. There are times when you have to look at yourself and detoxify and clear your mind. Just meditate and look at those angry feelings. Talk about to yourself as to how you got upset with someone. And look at that anger, and as you meditate, let it go. And as you meditate, let it go. And if you need to say something to someone, say something. I'm going to give you an activity for that in a minute. Like anything else, you have to give yourself permission to express your anger. You don't have to stay depressed. There are many good therapists out there who have a lot of quick activities that will help you release anger and get out of depression. You know, this is one of the main reasons I used to play racquetball, because when I was playing racquetball, all of those angry emotions from my childhood, all those angry emotions from my first husband leaving me, all of those angry emotions I could get out of my system. So racquetball, any kind of exercise, is a good way to get out of depression and get that anger out of your system. Another good therapy is to beat your bed once a week. Just go into your bedroom and just start beating on the bed. And whether you're angry or not, that's okay. And you'll all of a sudden see all these emotions coming up. And you go, gosh, I feel better now. You know, Another good activity is to write a letter to the person you're angry with, who you think you're angry with. Now, these letters are not to mail. I want to say that first of all. You're just going to, let's say you're angry with your ex. They cheated on you, they left you, they do all these things to you. You go, dear so-and-so, I am so angry you did that to me. How could you ever? You just get all your negative emotions out. Mm-hmm. You take the letter outside and you burn it. And you give it away to God. You're getting these negative anger emotions out of you. Another good thing to do is to write a letter to God. I know that sounds a little crazy, but excuse me. You say, dear God, I am so upset about this pandemic right now. I'm upset about people not being kind to each other. I don't understand why this is here. You know, you're supposed to take care of us. Whatever you want to say to God, you say it in that letter. Again, you take it outside and you burn it, you give it to God. The next day, you come back and you're God. And you write a letter to yourself. So in my case, I would say, dear Mary Ellen, I understand everyone is upset about this pandemic. And this is everybody's wake-up call. I am trying to wake people up to be kind to each other. Whatever flows from your pen. And at the end, you will have this great, wonderful, healing letter from God. You know, and again, if you write a letter to somebody else, please don't leave it around where somebody can find it, shred it, burn it, destroy it. This activity is for you only. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who was a Swiss psychiatrist and practiced from about 1955 to 1975, had an exercise she used to do with her clients. She used to have a pile of old phone books. And for all those of you who don't know what a phone book is, we have to go find some. Just a pile of old phone books. And then she had this rubber hose. And she'd tell her clients to go up to the phone books and just beat it with the rubber hose. Just beat those phone books. And it got all those angry emotions out of them. It got that it freed up that depression. If you have a punching bag around somewhere, punch the bag. If you go to a gym somewhere, just punch the bag. Just get those angry feelings out. You know, anger is an emotion that surfaces quickly. It is our reaction to this anger emotion that causes us to hold on to it and repress it until we have to acknowledge it when we fall into that depressive state. When you are releasing any kind of anger, it's okay to feel embarrassed, especially if you're angry towards your parents or your family or somebody who you have been taught that you shouldn't be angry with. That's okay. These are erroneous societal teachings. You can be angry with somebody, and I want to tell you something, you're always only angry with yourself. And we'll get to that in another session. But, you know, and you could even be angry with God. You know, I was angry with God for a whole year until I started laughing. I thought, who am I to be angry with God? Oh my gosh. But believe me, God is not going to hate you for being angry or depressed. God wants you to be happy and powerful and wonderful. And He wants you to release your pent-up anger. And when you release this pent-up anger, you see your situation differently. You brand new light. Your face lights up. Your smile comes back. And it is so wonderful. And all of a sudden, you see everyone around you differently. And you're thinking to yourself, wow, these people have changed. No, they didn't change. You did. And isn't that wonderful? Also, when you are depressed, you eat poorly, which adds to your depressive state. So find a good nutritionist. See what you need to begin. We must all make the best choices with our food and your drink, because food and drink are it's like fuel for your body. And what you eat fuels your mind and your body. You have to eat and drink correctly. So if you eat something and you feel depressed or lethargic afterward, you might not want to eat it again. Or if you drink something and you feel the same way. You know, there are cases of chemical imbalances which may cause depression or anger. I know because I live with one of them. And my case, of course, is multiple sclerosis. There are times when everything is going right around me. Everything's right with Pete, everything's right in the house, books are selling, and all of a sudden MS will take me and just throw me down on the carpet and go, no, you're going to be depressed today. And you're thinking to yourself, and I have had to find ways to beat that MS monster. And one of the ways I do is by doing this for you. So when you are depressed, think about doing something for somebody else, because that really truly brings you out of depression in a most positive way possible. There are many natural therapies to bring you out of depression, from massage therapy, yoga, tai chi, rolfing, which is deep connective tissue manipulation, reflexology, and other therapies. Please find a therapy that works for you. And if you need someone to talk to, go to askmaryellen.com to get my phone number. I'm here for you anytime you need me. Here is your affirmation for the miracle of depression. I am surrounded by love and support. I am whole and complete, and I know my life has meaning. I am able to feel good, positive, and content as I release all my negative feelings. Once again, the affirmation for miracle of depression is, I am surrounded by love and support. I am whole and complete, and I know my life has meaning. I am able to feel good, positive, and content as I release all my negative feelings. Thank you so much. There were so many of you watching today. Manny, Pete, Cheryl, Michael, Allie, Paul, and many, many others. Thank you so much. I am so humbled and so blessed by all of you. Go through askmaryellen.com. Please share this video with a friend or your family members, especially if you've learned something from it. Connect with me through Ask Mary Ellen. My YouTube channel, of course, is Ask Mary Ellen, and everything else is probably Ask Mary Ellen. Anyway, get a copy of my book, Healing Words, Life Lessons to Inspire, or Truth, Taking Responsibility, Unleashes True Healing. I will see you next week on Miracles with Mary Ellen, and I'll be talking about the miracle of religion. Is religion a miracle or not? Tune in next week and watch throughout the week for my Mary Ellen's Miracle Minute and my Mary Ellen's Miracle Moment. Thank you so much. And Larry Van Nomer, thank you so much for being here. Joanna, I'm so blessed by all of you guys. Thank you, and I'll see you next week and throughout the week. Bye-bye.